such as Blacklist, already right here, but already stifled. And now they're going to be black on the blue side. They did not ban the Phobius, but they banned the Angela and instead prioritized Granger.
So a different approach as the Harith did get banned out by Blacklist. That means they will get the joy once more. Tusin is still on the table. Blacklist International will take it as well.
The Zusin and the Joy MP gonna be a bit of a one trick this series, but why not? I do think we're seeing more and more teams just try to stick to the same hero being given to their players, because it not only makes sure that they don't have to change anything in their gameplay, but it also hides their hero pool a little bit. But Hayabusa gonna be making an appearance, actually a pretty solid answer to Joy, as long as you can get that Oki Shadow kill out.
Very different approach right now from the side of Lazy. Considering that Suyo was still left on the table, Hayabusa being picked up definitely kind of signals a change in the game plan. But also, it's also a decent solution to deal with the Jusin, right? Because you have the shadows, you can go into your invulnerability with the ultimate, and then you have the Phobius to deal with the Joy. Oh, marvelous pick. Great stuff from Blacklist. The glue as an immediate answer.
So quick too. I think they already knew that that's what Lazy Esports was planning, right? So huge props over to the coaching staff over on Blacklist International. So quick, so decisive. And we already mentioned it during game 2, right? Playing against Glue as a Phobius is a nightmare. You just really cannot win against him in lane. So that immediately gives a Blacklist EXP lane priority. And that's a very important half of the map.
Not just that, even if you somehow make it past the glue, you still have the Jusin, right? Like, Phobius into Jusin is also an absolute terror to play against. You always get displaced. There's no way to stick onto the Jusin. I personally feel like this Phobius is not going to be able to play the game at all. Just losing in matchup and losing it other stages of the game as well. Blacklist clamping down on that mid lane pool, so no Vexana, no Eve. Life for Chosker is going to be infinitely harder.
Yeah, I really like the Vexana ban because that is of course a counter to glue somewhat, and no real world manipulation to give Lazy control over the team fight, which will allow Joy to go a bit more ham overall. Now you even have the Gatot, right? Gatot and Glue, you will have solid ways of initiation, even less chance for Phobius to actually get to play the game. It's not going to be easy for Dirt.
Yeah, and also who is going to support the backline, right? Like, even if you want to pick the Tigreal, it doesn't feel too good, right? Thanks to the Glue and the Gatot. Now they go for the Faramis, which it's an answer to Glue for sure, but it feels more like a one-on-one solution than an overall remedy. Show as the last pick for Lazy, and Blacklist go for the Moskov.
Moskov's still gonna be a pretty safe option, though I'm a little bit sad that we don't get to see carry here. Like you mentioned, Husky, Faramis, direct counter to Glue, but very much feels like just a bandage onto a much bigger wound, right? While that NetherRealm is going to be pretty good to allow Lazy Esports to continue fighting, their lineup actually doesn't really support the 5v5s that NetherRealm would really work well with. And even if they group up together to take advantage of, then Avatar the Guardian just comes in, you set yourself easily for electrifying beats. I straight up think that Blacklist International has won the draft pretty notably here, and if Lazy Esports wants to compete, they're going to have to play like their lives depended on it.
I agree. I feel like this game has already been the results has been preordained just from the first 3 picks. But let's see if Lazy Esports can surprise us and upset the Agents, or at least the new era of Agents. We're heading into game 3 of this first match. Of course, Lazy Esports on that blue side once more with Blacklist International on red.
Well, looks like we're going to see purple buff start for both sides as well, which means that they will end up rotating the opposite sides of the map around that level 4 mark. In this case, James Punks is going to be the one that goes to the EXP lane to maybe give some hand to the Dur, but unfortunately with a Glue and Gatot as well, Hayabusa is going to have a bit of a hard time racking up kills on that Ogi Shadow kill.
Damn. I mean, looking at kind of the start already, I can't help but feel that, you know, just a follow-up to the whole point you brought out about the Nether Realm and how Lazy wants to fight this. None of them wants to stay in the Nether Realm, right? Like they all want to be at different places at a time. So if you are Cho Skirt, what are you gonna do, you know, in these fights? So we can start with the bottom lane gang. That's a Revitalize. And they're both fine. Proxiva and Jane Pinkman both get out. Haji shows up to the scene. So that's the first Ogi Shadow kill, getting nothing.
It's actually a respectable amount of damage though that James Pang Center were able to do there, even with the Revitalize in. I think we all knew that there was no way Ogi Shadow Kill was getting a kill down there, but we see the Purify being used already by Chobskut to make sure he's not picked up by the Lantern player as well. Blacklist definitely has a map priority somewhat. Pacman is able to open up the map pretty well since he is on something like a Cho, but the presence that you have is a lot stronger on Blacklist side.
If the turtle spawning, Blacklist will naturally gain that priority. And Lazy Esports, you just have to let it go. Like, who's gonna walk up? Maybe it will try. James Pons realizes that there's no way in, and now Haji will find the displacement. Chobska gets brought back. NetherRealm instantly popped. The Spirit of Destruction does miss. First Blood going over to the Fire Mist. They blow up MP, and now the turnaround with the Inferno Pursuit, but they're all getting lifted up. Left, right, center. The split is still there. Finally expires. JM will use the flicker to get away. Shizo flickers over the wall. Looks for Haji, guns him down. This man is the Ghost Rider himself. Lazy Esports finds 3 kills somehow and was able to get away by losing nothing.
That is not a fight Lazy should have won. And there is, like, logically no way they should have won that hard. 3 kills to nothing when Blacklist had the better initiation, when they were in control of the turtle pit. I gotta give props. That was actually just a really, really well played by Lazy. The NetherRealm timing actually came out really well to make sure that Dur didn't get picked off too early on. Then he was able to keep himself alive with the Infernal Pursuit and actually survive the entire thing without vengeance, by the way. And the fight lasted so long that Shizo was actually able to walk from top lane to come in and get a kill himself, flickering into the back line to pick up Haj. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, there's no way I would have predicted that happening.
I think it's the same way that MP didn't predict it to be blown up by the Ghostbusters. I think kind of used the split Goblins as a pedestal to amplify that burst damage. So something that is a very, you know, rare interaction, and Blacklist probably didn't expect it to happen. And now with newfound info, let's see how they deal with it. It's JM against Dur. Naturally, again, the Phoebus is just going to be a wet noodle fight in favor of JM. His backup arrives from both Lazy and Blacklist. And Proxiva will zone out the rest of the Calvaries. Fortunately, no reinforcement coming in. Shadow kill to the back line. James Pang just whittling down Hush a little bit, but not getting much done.
I still think that it's gonna be almost impossible for Lazy to really get a good positioning to contest turtles, just because Blacklist is so bulky and has good control and scouting with Zeusin as well. I think they could just afford to not really contest and instead go for a gank onto outplayed in the top lane to start building up Skypiercer stacks for James Pangs, right? But they are able to still deny the positioning from Blacklist. That way if Dragon did miss, unfortunately.
This is actually not what I really expected, right? Like Lazy being able to control this more than I thought they were able to. Hutch, that's got brought back. Retribution comes out. Turtle goes over to Lazy Esports. Shizo tries to fight again. This time Spirit of Destruction will connect. But for outplay, he's not going to take it. Both teams disengage once more.
I guess one thing to keep in mind though is that with Zeusin, Gatot, and Glue, Blacklist actually are lacking damage somewhat. It's very crucial for MP to be the one dishing out burst damage because Outplayed obviously can't join the fight yet either. So even though Blacklist has a stronger presence just in terms of bulkiness, they don't quite threaten Lazy enough in terms of DPS output. And because Lazy is slowing down these teams... Oh, Ahmed?
Oh, kind of slow on the timing, so will be punished by the electrifying beats. It's a good attempt, but that's gonna be flicker out. They can get Harsh in return. What a snipe from Shizo. There's icing on the cake. Perkziva wants to run away, but the Cyclonite gets out.
Puckbet Flicker jumps into the tower, misses way of the dragon, and somehow Lazy is still not punished. They're still able to get a kill onto Hodge despite everything. So Blacklist running into some issues here. They're not able to play the game quick enough because of this lack of DPS. Looking at the itemization, yep, we see Shizo going for that second item, Sky Piercer, already building up stacks on it. James Punks did go for the Heptases first. Doesn't look like he's gonna be building Sky Piercer, so just going for straight up DPS here to help support the team and allow Shizo to be the finisher.
The fact that Lazy now has a minor gold lead, and look at where outplayed is, right? He can't even step into the lane. Blacklist will trade the bot tier 1 for the top. Get something in return. James Punks will eat up this wave. Everything going according to the plan of Lazy Esports. Puckbet, again, always fishing for any way of the dragon kick, but never in a rush to do so.
The thing is though, even with Gatot and Glue, you do have double frontline, your initiation is still not very reliable. In fact, Hodge is probably your most solid form of initiation. That actually allows Lazy to be very cheeky. And if Shizo had like a couple more stacks of Sky Piercer there, JM would have just blown up on the spot. So we can see that Blacklist is actually in a top spot. The turtle is gonna be claimed by James Punks, and Lazy actually in control in the mid game.
Well, they do find Shizo finally to shut him down bot side. Now with the Crimson Beacon, Puckbet will also be lifted up. Double kill for MP. Initiative from Blacklist finally paying off. Did have to wait quite a while for them to make that move, but seems like they are now accelerating.
Yeah, better late than never though. I think this is very smart by Blacklist. Lazy Esports' lineup in general promotes them splitting up across the map to make things happen. So it means that pickoff style compositions are going to be very good at catching them off guard if you're able to rotate together. And that's exactly what Blacklist did. They saw Shizo down bottom, they knew that Lazy wasn't really grouped up to protect him in the goal lane, and managed to get 2 kills on that. MP even now building up their score to 3 kills means that this joy is going to start accelerating.
Ogi Shadow kill, again dispersed by all the meat shields that Blacklist have. This might just ease it up. MP, oh, big flank from behind. Dur is out of position. AOG straight onto Shizo. They blow him up once more. This Granger not able to gun anyone down. We have the Dragon. No follow-up from Puckbet. He got control. MP once more finding 2 kills of his own. And Dur trying whatever he can, but gets nothing. So that's going to be 4 dead on Lazy. Triple kill for MP. And James Punks can only watch as his team gets absolutely massacred.
2 fights. That's all it took. MP is now the dominant threat on the entire map. Third game is joy, third time's the charm. Blacklist International instantly reverses the goal lead, 2k goal advantage now, 9 minutes in. And I am going to be honest with you, I feel like that's game. Just straight up. Like, as long as Blacklist doesn't make any more notable mistakes after this, the game just completely goes in their favor now, because they don't really have the tools to be able to manage a straight up dive composition like this.
Yeah, unless Shizo can play out of his mind like game 2. And even then, the same conversation gets repeated, right? This is the support system sturdy enough to keep the engine running. As we saw how MP just found that insane flank, basically wrapped around the entire quadrant of the jungle. And who is going to protect Shizo if you're Lazy, right? Like, maybe Chove Skirt, but that's probably only it.
Honestly, the only win con for Lazy is if Puckbet kicks MP. They have to kick MP. There is no other way around it.
Oh, they're not gonna get the lore, that's for sure. Puckbet's gonna give his life away. They get rid of Perkziva first. Here comes the big counter engage though. The damage with the Shadow kill and the Rhapsody is actually enough. Lazy, despite losing the Lord, was able to get 3 kills. Let's see if they can convert it into more. The Lord will unfortunately not be of any use for Blacklist, at least not the first one.
You know how I said that the game would be Blacklist as long as they don't make any notable mistakes? Yeah, that's a notable mistake. Just straight up. Like, there is no reason they should be that, like, messed up by Puckbet alone just in their backline. And it bought so much time that Lazy were able to group up under the Nether Realm and just, like, run them down. This isn't even a rundown composition. It makes no sense. Blacklist should have been able to survive that. But Lazy Esports is showing that when there is a will, there is a way. And well, Shizo is actually quite rich at this point. A 9k net worth total. MP is still going to be a notable threat, but the Joy has to be a bit more careful about who she decides to run into.
Yeah, you did say as long as MP stays alive, it's Blacklist game, and the next moment he got blown up. So that's how Lazy found the advantage. A minor way back into the game. They find a control onto JM though. He will survive. The AOG committed. Perziva joins the fight, but look at James Pang. He is uncontested. Seems like Shido wants to fight this MP. Oh my goodness! But it gets eaten up in another round. He gets kicked and blasted by the Ghost Burster. So at the end of that, Lazy seemingly have a decent chance. 2-for-2 trade. Chosuke's gonna be back thanks to the passive. And the Lazy Esports again holds back Blacklist.
I actually don't really know what I'm looking at anymore in these team fights. It is incredibly messy on both teams. It is chaotic, in fact. Like, Blacklist were the ones to start the fight, then they got caught out, then MP comes in. NetherRealm timing was actually clean. I gotta give a lot of props to Chosuke. We were wondering if this Paramis would really work out in this game, because this is not a team fight lineup, but Chosuke is making it work. His timing is really, really good to make sure that the burst from Blacklist is not getting the damage it needs to output. So because of that, Lazy is surviving way more engagements than they should be, because they just overall have the squishier lineup. Blacklist, they still have the tools, but at this point, yeah, Wishing Lantern on Chosuke, I think JM actually needs to be a bit more careful about when he splits, because he is giving Chosuke so much teamfight damage.
So that's the third death for MP. The second Lord now spawns bottom side, which is, I think right now, actually, it's the stronger side for Lazy just because they have that big wave which Blacklist will need to eventually deal with. They do have that Moskov which can join the fight as long as he hits that Spear of Destruction. Blacklist is the one that starts off the aggro, so Lazy knows that this is happening.
We do still have to keep an eye on outplay. The Moskov actually hasn't died yet this game so far, so his farm should be pretty solid.
Spear of Destruction, Parkbet completely out of position. Doesn't have to kick anymore. Immortality. Good nether round. Parkbet actually
out?
Survives that. And now MP can be jumped on the RNG from the shadow kill. All onto MP, and James Pang just hit the jackpot with that one. Lazy takes down the Joy for the 4th time.
Lazy is genuinely making miracles happen. I am so impressed by this MDL team right now. They're not only able to escape the initial engagement, Parkbet somehow escapes despite being surrounded by 4 members after the immortality. James Punks finds the angle to pick up MP in the middle of all of that? That is insane! That is ridiculous! Lazy Esports is showing the world what they're capable of right now. They have the Lord, most of the external towers for Blacklist are gone, but they still have to be careful. The siege potential, the defensive play that Blacklist can output is actually not bad. So Lazy, let's see what the approach is here.
We need an instant replay of that Ogi Shadow Kill bounce because MP ate all of it despite his team being around him. Now that mid inhibitor is going to fall. Poke from Shizo, not to be underestimated. Mentioned that's the Ghost Burster as well, so JM, he might be tanking the Rhapsody, but tanking Ghost Burster basically just puts his team in jeopardy. Blacklist, they will take down the Lord, but at the end of the day, the last tier 2 will also be destroyed topside. It's a double wave. A triple cannon minute as well. Conceal, Parkbet looking for potential angle. Haji loses half his health. That's Crimson Beacon expended just to stay alive. And Blacklist able to defend their side lane inhibs.
Honestly, in 3 games, I think this is the most disciplined Lazy Esports has looked so far, while still maintaining their characteristic aggression, right? They're doing a great job of just keeping Blacklist in their base, making sure that they're not able to engage on them, and this time, not over-committing. I like that Parkbet went for a very early immortality this game because he knows that he does have a tendency of dying pretty early on. In fact, it's what saved him in that previous fight. Looking at the overall itemization, Shizo already maxed out. Outplayed is actually maxed as well, does have the Wind of Nature, while Shizo doesn't. So that could make a difference depending on which point of the game we get to. And MP has a Winter Crown as well. So and it won't be quite as easy to take him out the next time, but Blacklist has definitely lost a lot more ground than they would have expected to by this point in the game.
Now, all the lead that they got gone. They got the flicker out of Puck Bet, so that is 2 minutes without an important gap closer for Lazy Esports. I guess the silver lining is that the inhibitor that fell was the mid lane one, so it's not the hardest for Blacklist to kind of manage for sure, as the next Lord will spawn top side. And Blacklist, they're going to shove out the bottom wave, so that part's going to be resetted. Actually, not really, they didn't clear the full wave. It's going to slow push towards Lazy for sure.
I think Blacklist are doing a good job of keeping the macro up right now. They're definitely slowing the game down, right? We can see. Because they know that despite them having the better front and back lineup, Lazy Esports has been doing an excellent job of just disrupting the backline. So instead, setting up the minion waves, forcing Lazy in a position where they have to split themselves up to defend, will make the following team fights. Ooh,
that's the Sky Pierce, the problem. Pugbear comes with immortality, but this time will fall. So that is a big, big goal sign for Blacklist right now. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of openings, especially for MP, right? You don't have the kick to kind of crowd control you, and the Phobius isn't really the best tool. Spell Destruction Lash, Shizo gets gone on. Here comes MP looking for Shizo. The Shadow Kill will not do enough. Shizo goes down. Dirt also just evaporates. Choveskirt dies. James Punk's left again all alone to take the Shadow back into the face of MP. Haji flickers over the wall, gets the triple kill. And they don't even need a Lord right now. Pugbear will be back up in 5 seconds. Choveskirt respawn thanks to his passive, but it's a 5v2.
This is going to be a difficult one, but 20 seconds is all Lazy needs to hold on to. Blacklist finally finding the decisive win that they needed, punishing Lazy, overstaying their welcome without their roamer, and they have their eyes on the end game.
And Pugbear, he's just going to throw his life, trying to clear out the minions, but unfortunately, it is just not enough. Blacklist International takes our first opening series of the challenge seasons 2-1 over Lazy Esports.
It was a very, very good attempt. This MDL team has shown us what they're capable of, but they're still missing a tiny something to really close things out against the experience of these more veteran teams. They really should not have stayed to try and contest the Lord there. There was no longer any front line to provide vision, and a really good Spear of Destruction immediately destroyed Shizo's positioning, right? So there was no way for him to continue DPSing, and then Lazy was just completely scattered at that point. A very clean victory. Blacklist International will be moving on into the next phase of the competition. And this also means that Lazy Esports no longer has a chance of claiming that very easy qualification into the challenge finals, and will have to fight to keep themselves in the game until the last chance qualifiers.
Yeah, and all hope is not lost just yet for Lazy Esports fans out there. It's just that the journey has just gotten extended if you are Lazy Esports. And interestingly enough, now whoever Blacklist now will be expecting either Evo's Glory or Onyx Philippines, which is going to be one of our upcoming series as well. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But for now, once more congratulations to Blacklist. I would admit I did not expect the game to go 18 minutes, and I didn't expect the draft that both of us, you know, sort of just laid down a hammer and said won hands down. Ran into some challenges along the way.
Yeah, I'm still really, really impressed by what Lazy was able to achieve throughout that entire game, but Blacklist, like we mentioned, had the more solid lineup overall. And I do wish that Pugbear played a little bit safer towards the end, because he really needed to be there to lock down MP, because otherwise they have no way of doing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think for the side of Blacklist International, I think this is one of the few demonstrations of just being able to see ahead, right? You know, they're playing chess, Lazy Esports playing checkers. MVP, of course, got to give it to outplay this game on the Moscow. Basically has majority of his work cut out for him, able to play on the other side of the map majority of the game thanks to his ultimate. But MP getting that special mention, he did ran into some troubles in that mid game, getting killed 3 times in a row. But at the end of the day, once he gets his hands